Greetings and welcome back to Monster Legends. Alright, it's Saturday and we do have some new things to talk about, but before that, as promised, we're going to talk about episode number 850 very quickly indeed. Alright, so 850 is coming up. I have a tendency to do PvP-centric episodes every 50 episodes, so we might very well be doing one at 850. Whether or not we do one or not is up to you. It's a lot of work for me. I got a lot of things to do, got to piece it all together and hope it all works good. So you're going to have to work for it. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to give likes to this video. I'm not going to raise the number too. I'm just going to keep the same number I've been using. It's going to be 200. If this video has 200 likes, by the time I'm recording the next video in this series, and that's probably going to be Tuesday or Wednesday depending, so you got extra time, then we're going to be doing a PvP episode at 850. If it's not, if it's 199, then we're not doing it. You have the extra days here, so no excuse, no second chances. So if you want a PvP episode, like this video. Once we know one way or another, we'll talk about what we have to do, and of course I'll make a video and we'll gather. Now don't bother putting teams in the comments of this video, because anybody who knows the way I do things, I'm going to put a separate video out and the teams would go in the comments of that video. So don't waste your time putting teams for a video which we may or may not be doing in the comments of this one or any of the regular episodes, because they're going to be ignored. Alright, so we got that done. Let's move on to new stuff. Why don't we start with this? We have an Unchained breeding event, and this one is going to be for Hornet. This one uses Pixel Lion and Metalhead. Of course, you can substitute them for the appropriate jokers, you can see, and we are using our new joker here, as you can also see. Using a joker, and you can't use two. You can substitute Pixel Lion out, you can substitute Metalhead out, you can't do both of them. So you're not going to be able to do Galante and Violet and get the combination that might get Hornet, right? You have to use at least one of the base parents here. But using a Joker does give you a better chance of actually getting Hornet. Now, if you just attempt I'm looking for it down here. If you just attempt the combination and you fail, you'll get 75 extra maze coins. But if you get an extra Hornet, you get 250 maze coins. Of course, a lot of us have our temples on cooldown, so I'm going to be working the back of this breeding event and not the beginning of it. So I'm going to hope that I get lucky along the way. I certainly wouldn't mind getting another Hornet to tear to pieces, since I only need 50 cells to get mine to 110. So, by the way, Hornet is kind of supporty, has some denial. At rank 1, it gets an area dodge, which is very useful. Some very good stuff there. And does damage also with percentages, which is good because you're going to put speed on Hornet. So if you have somebody who takes 30, 40% off and doesn't rely on strength, it's actually kind of useful. He does other good stuff too. Blinding, total blinding, all kinds of things like that. Anyway, that's going to be going on for another 3 days, 13 hours, and 46 minutes at the time of recording. Okay, so we're going to talk about one other thing before we get to the big one, and of course, this is actually kind of a big thing itself, because we're doing another progressive with magic stones. And you can see I'm already up to 45. So it starts over here at 10, 15, 30, and 45. I'm up to the 45. You really want to get the 50, right? Just saying. All right, you can see where I am. Basically, it's the same kind of progressive stuff. You have the tasks, you have to complete them. In the end, you probably have to gem it to push it along at a certain point. You can see I'm kind of waiting for the PvP wins because I hope to get 4 of them at the end of this video, right? The big question, of course, is what are the rewards this time around? Well, they're actually pretty good. So let's go take a look at this. This is definitely something you probably want to do. All right, we're starting off with Cain. Then we got Volhar. Then we got Helgadin. And then we have Dragar. These are definitely worth saving magic stones for. And as you can see, they're doing it the new way. Originally, you had to save up the full 150, I believe it was, and then you'd get a chest filled with 100 cells. Well, now, you can actually get them in chunks of 50, right? Which is pretty darn good, just saying. Because maybe maybe like you were nearly close to getting Volthar and Dragar, right? But you just needed maybe like 25 more. Well, there you go. You can finish both of them off right now. Now myself, what am I going for? Kain and Dragar are off the table. The reason for that is because I have them up to 110, and I would need 290 to rank them up. And I think I may have like 15 extra of Dragar, but that's about it. Because I used fire cells to finish off Kain the last time we did this. And by the way, this event is how I ranked him up the last time. Now, Volthar is, he's denial. He's good because I believe he's also an artifact, so you can't do any bad things to him. However, I am going to be going for Helgenen. That's what I have her, and she's very good. She is, she's darkness, she's damage dealer. She can actually debuff for her damage. In other words, she can give you weakness to darkness and then come back with a big darkness attack, right? Group 1. Most importantly, she dodges group attacks, so I would really like to rank her up. So she is going to be my focus, right? If I get enough cells of her, I'll definitely throw the rest of the darkness ones in I need. I don't have as many darkness as I do others. I think that comes back to when I just ranked up Dun Ra. You know, like here's 120 dark cells, you know, that kind of thing. So I don't really have as many of that, although nowhere near as bad as Thunder. Thunder, I think I have like 12 or something like that. But that's what I'm going to be going for. And basically, the way it is, you just keep getting them. By the time you get to the 50, you know, you should have enough to be able to put one of them together. Me, like I said, I'm going to try to get as much Helget in as I can. And I think it's about time we got to the big event. All right, we are, oh, by the way, just to mention it in case you're wondering. Yes, he is ready to go. Unfortunately, he's got some bad ruin slot stuff going, but I'm probably going to be unlocking them. I could really use a deal, by the way, Social Point, if you're listening. Could you do the ruin slot thing? That'd be great. Really appreciate it. So why don't we just go into the Magic Within maze? All right, so this is the next one we have right here, and obviously it's magic-based. Up here we have a rare. Yeah, that's about it. Then we have Slimer from the original Ghostbusters. Except he's purple. All right, and of course, this one is a very, very good monster. Gelatron is good damage dealer, hands out random torture effects, but he's also immune to control and can drain life to heal himself. Yeah, this one is kind of tricky because he is really good, right? But let's face it, we're all here for the new Forsaken, right? All right, so let's take a quick look at this fellow. And before I say anything else, I made comments about the name in the previous episode. I had no idea that they were naming this after a fellow YouTuber. So I take all that back and I say that's pretty cool. Obviously, they want to cut into his 12 million subscribers. So, you know, but hey, everybody's happy with it. That's good. So let's talk about this extremely overpowered individual. This is LazarBeam. All right, LazarBeam's got a pretty good life for a damage dealer. By the way, he is a damage dealer. His power is pretty good. His speed's not too bad at all. Not too bad. Just a reminder, he is Forsaken, though. Let's just take that into account, because that is going to be important. Looking at his trait, he starts off with the very, very useful control immunity right out of the box. If you get him up to rank 1, he gets a status cast to put magic weakness on the other team, which of course is going to benefit him greatly, very greatly, by the way, because he is of course a magic damage dealer. At rank 3, he gets a status cast for a self-element hater, random, so that's pretty much mostly useless. All right, let's look at the skills. You have a good idea what's going on with this guy with the first skill when you see deals moderate magic damage to all enemies, it's 35 damage, and it's a 0 cooldown. There are some tier 3 skills that are not that good, but believe me, you're going to be replacing this one. You just watch. The next one, of course, is one that gives curse to everybody, and the last one is a complete waste. Yeah, random hater stuff. Just lose it, because it has such a tiny chance of being useful. Most of the haters that I've seen require a buff or a debuff on the enemy. You have a better chance of your special going off. All right, moving on to tier number 2. Applies magic weakness to all enemies, gives 1 extra turn to itself. Of course you're going to use that. You're going to start your battles with that because he uses group magic attacks, right? So you're absolutely going to use that one. But once you get to rank 1, he's going to do that automatically, so he's not going to need that anymore. And you figure, oh, what if he needs it later in the fight? There ain't going to be no later in the fight. No. All right, now if you look at the next one, deals moderate magic damage to all enemies, applies curse to all enemies. It's virtually identical to the one in tier 1, with 2 exceptions, of course. One, this one has a 2-round cooldown, and it gives curse. So you're going to have to decide, do you want that cost? You know, some people may say you take both of them, but you're not going to take both of them, right? The next one is a single target damage one, and you may end up holding on to this one as well. This is the over 900 balloons, right? Deals very heavy magic damage to one enemy and applies bleed. The big thing about this is a 0 cooldown and a 0 cost. So which means he can just use that. You activate his cooldowns, take his stamina away, doesn't matter, he can use this one. So that's the reason I don't really think you're going to part with that one. Even though technically there's a bigger bang later, I don't think you're going to part with that one. At least I wouldn't. Now we get to the real bread and butter here. All right, first skill, we're ignoring it. It's a piece of crap. Second one, deals heavy special damage to all enemies, applies bleed to all enemies. Well, that's a 45 damage. That's really going to hurt. Mind you, it's not going to benefit from the weakness thing because it's special damage, but then again, that would actually be more crazy than before, right? But let's face it, you're going to take that one. And then you have the one I was talking about a second ago, right? This one deals massive magic damage to one enemy. It's a 70 damage, 0 cooldown. This does have a cost to it, though. The other one does bleeding, but then you do have this big attack over here that does bleeding. But it does have a stamina cost. So, I mean, do you want to keep this one or do you want to keep the other one, right? It really depends. You know, I can see arguments on both sides. He can't be shut down if he's got the other one. This one is going to need stamina. If he gets the stamina taken away, he can't do anything unless he has the other one. I would personally go with the other one, and the extra bleeding is not a bad thing too. Now we get into what I consider to be the absurdity. This guy is a nuke. He really is. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you get him to rank 1, now remember something. You get him to rank 1 and he status casts magic weakness. Which means if they don't resist it, the other team has magic weakness. So then we have this one. Smashing keyboards. Applies triple damage to itself during 1 turn. In other words, you'll have it for 1 turn. Applies magic weakness hater to itself. The way I read this is this. They have magic weakness. You're probably going to use that group magic attack, by the way, if you want to hit the whole group. So we're going to look at that one. That's the one that was like 35, and then it gave curse, right? So which means they're going to get double damage for that one because they're, magic weakness. Then triple damage. So you're going to triple that damage, but then he's also got magic weakness hater, which means that's going to be another triple damage on top of that. What's going to survive that? Once he does this skill, and of course it would be absurd if he gave an extra turn, but he's sitting there going, I am going to kill all of you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, actually, there's a limited things you can do about it. Well, he's going to do this. He's going to say, I am now a bomb. I'm about to blow up, and I'm going to kill all of you, right? Or maybe not all of you. If there's a Megaton tank, well, there'll be a stain on the ground where the Megaton tank used to be. He'll be just gone, right? Because nothing is going to survive this. You could take his stamina away. You can't stun him, freeze him, possess him, baby him, or time control him because he's immune to control. Now, you could clear positive status effects off of him. That's probably the best thing to do. You also, if you have Dragar, well, you could just use his single target attack to disable his trait, to remove positive status effects, and to stun him. That's probably the best thing. Dragar would be the best guy to use against this one right here. Woo, ugly. The other thing you could do is you could also give your own team evade. And remember, it's only for 1 turn. So if all your guys are evading, then there's not much he can do. The buff's going to wear off, and he can't get it back for another 4 turns. You need to do something about this guy if that happens. He's like, I am now a ticking bomb. Do something about me, or you all die. So that's the reason I call this guy a nuke. All right, now we'll look at the rest of these guys very quickly. All right, the next one is deals very heavy damage to one enemy, applies ignite to one enemy, gives an extra turn. That one you're probably going to substitute the single target for. Look at it this way. The triple damage one we just saw, you're going to be taking out the nature weakness one that gave an extra turn. Because you don't need it anymore because you're status casting it. So you can put that one in there. Now, the one I just read here, harder than a lightsaber, that one you can take your single target out. Unless, of course, you like the idea of having the 0 cooldown, 0 cost one. You know, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. All right, and kill them subscribers. Okay, thank goodness for the comma. Because it makes all the difference who the target is. Removes positive status effects from all enemies, deals heavy special damage to all enemies, applies magic weakness to all enemies. That's more damage, so that one will replace the other one, although you're losing the bleeding. The thing is, they probably already have magic weakness already. Yeah, I know it probably only lasts for 3 turns, but if he gets down to tier 3, how long is the fight really going to be? And then you have this last one, removes positive status effects from one enemy, disables trait on one enemy, deals insane magic damage to one enemy. It's almost as good as Dragar's. Dragar's is better because it's got the stun in there. Just shut them right down. This would be good for taking out a Megaton tank, though. Remove positive status effects and then disable the trait in case it's actually in the trait, like Centurion, who's rank 1. So if you get to rank 4, that's a very nice one. But let's face it, this guy changes a lot if you get him to rank 1. Because he's going to status cast the weakness, and then he's going to have this monstrosity of a buff, a self-buff. The other team has to do something about. Otherwise, they're going to die. In this case, you might want to speed this guy up too, because you probably want to get to that. And that is LazarBeam. Easily the most overpowered of all of the monsters that have been, named after YouTubers, right? I don't know. I would say iMigbo is second. I would say iMigbo is second because iMigbo is really good. I really love my iMigbo. Anyway, that's the maze. And of course, the maze is going right now. And of course, there is a Maze Coins dungeon going right now. So that's I'm not all the way. I'm most of the way. You can see that. So that's going on right now. And let me just pop back in here for a moment. Now, yesterday they had a 20% discount from the beginning of the maze for a long time. Hopefully, none of you actually used any of your coins during that period of the time. Because, of course, since we're doing the Maze Coins dungeon today, tomorrow will be the limited path. That's when you're going to get your chance to get a rank 0 LazarBeam. So that's the thing about it, is anything you use beforehand is thrown to the wind. You need to get him, even if you're planning on going for like the 30% and stuff like that, you have to get him in the limited path if you want any chance to get him to rank 1. Unless you're just going to go crazy with all kinds of stuff and things like that. But we're not talking about that. So he's going to be available starting tomorrow on the limited path, and you're going to have 2 days, probably going to be around 4,000. The previous guy was just under 4,000. There was a lot of miscommunication there in terms of, I heard people saying one thing, but it turned out to be something completely different. And of course, when the limited path opens up in the morning, they usually have a 10% discount. If you're absolutely going to go for him and you think you're going to be able to get to 4,000, you might want to spend them then when you got the only discount you're going to get during the limited path. Just saying. Me, I'll probably be sound asleep at that time, but that's just because my hours are messed up. So this is going to be going on for another 6 days, 13 hours, and 25 minutes. As I said, you probably need about 4,000. And of course, towards the end of this maze, they're going to have a 30%. It's going to be when there's a day and 18 hours left in the maze. So try to keep an eye open for that. We'll probably talk about that later in the week, because we'll have another episode before this maze ends. Probably before the discount, too. So that's going to be happening. He's a damage dealer. He's got a lot of good stuff. Obviously, like I said, you get him to rank 1 and he's incredible. But he's already good, by the way. He can already put the magic weakness on himself and then immediately come back and attack with magic attacks, right? And he's got some good ones, including the one that gives curse and such like that. And don't forget, immunity to control right out of the box, which is very useful. Kind of like Gelatron has right there. So that kind of thing is very useful for combos, like I've mentioned in the past. You got Fenrir, who gives the triple damage for multiple turns, but stuns you. Well, he can't be stunned. You have Kronks, who is going to baby you, but give you triple damage for 2 turns. Well, he can't be babied, so he just gets the triple damage. So definitely a very powerful individual. Very powerful individual. And we seem to get a lot of them, but unfortunately a lot of them... yeah, they're Forsaken. So that rank up, if you actually want to get him to rank 1, you probably better get the cells in this event. All right, as you can see down here, there's no war at the moment. As a matter of fact, unfortunately, we're back in this. So we can't even start searching for a day and 6 hours, apparently. And then we're going to have to do the opt-in thing. So... who knows, by the next time we do a video, that might be the first war we've seen since this. But we do have PvP. So let's get to that right now. All right, because I need PvP wins, don't I? Yes, come beat up my uncommons. Come and beat up my uncommons. All right, we're not a lot of teams suggested, but I do believe I have some new individuals. So let's go. Our first team today was suggested by... Captain P. And Captain P wanted to see over here in Earth, we're going with Banzai. Our second individual in this team is actually in Light. I kind of made a mistake and I read down one line. Spoilers! But the second member of this team is going to be Simba. And the final member of this team, and I have to give props to the individual here, Captain P, for actually knowing the name of somebody who doesn't really get picked very often. But this is going to be... Phoebe. All right, so let's see how this works out. All right, let's see. Well, obviously, we're going to be doing like cursing and stuff like that. But, I mean, Phoebe can help us a bit there. But basically, I think we need to kill quickly. Obviously, I'm not doing up the middle because there's 2 rares there. They may be a 105 and a 105, but they're rares, so we're not doing that. I think the one on the right would be a problem because that Kihaku is probably faster than us, and that would end very badly. Yeah, I don't like the one on the left either. 110, 2 110s and both of them are denial, I'm not playing with Mephisto. I'm also not playing with commons. However, up the middle, is that too easy? One more try. I think that one, I don't want to pick something that would be too easy to do. Actually, now I'm kind of stuck, ain't I? Well, I mean, I know there's an epic on the left over here, but the thing is, there's also 2 130s, and I think that's probably better. Am I doing an extra turns? Up the middle seems like it would be a terrible idea. But what is my choice? Okay, I guess I have to do up the middle. I should have chosen that team from the previous round. It's just that I think 130s would be a very big mistake. Although I do also think this is a big mistake. But, oh, I have an extra turn going on. No, I can't do that one. I have to do the one on the left. Because I have, Simba's going to give Banzai an extra turn. So I can't do the one up the middle. Otherwise, that Marquis de Flamme will actually just destroy us. All right. This is, I don't know if this is going to go well or not. All right. We have a lot of support speed over here. All right. Let's see how this works. Oh, lovely. Just lovely. I have to do this one. I don't have a choice in the matter. All right, let's think. Into control. All right, get Mech is, well, that one's going to give an extra turn anyway, so yeah, do that. All right, and what else do we have here? Okay, so that means that block all damage except water. Well, we do have a water individual over here, right? Heavy damage removes all negative status effects from itself. Block damage. Immune to control doesn't help at the moment. They're both going to go over there. All right, well, you know what? I think I'm going to lose Bonsai anyway here. Oh, is that what you did with your turn? Okay, you could have just clobbered us. All right, then a little bit of curse for everybody. Ow! Not much left there. All right. Charge with me. All right, let me think about this. I think he's probably the most dangerous individual up the middle. Oh, first things first. Remove negative status effects and life regeneration and extra turn. All right. And I need to get rid of him because he hits like a truck at 130. All right, let me think. Block damage. That only helps him. Well, there isn't any control really over here. Which is going to do more damage? 74, 69. That one will do more damage. Oh, wow. Oh, that's right, because he's fire. Yikes. Battle Tiger, you die. All right, unstoppable migration. Okay, so that ends up working out. Boom, you're dead. That was close, though. Okay, and I did some stuff for something I don't need to do anything for anymore. Dragged you in another Saturday, didn't I? Oh, Choco Bunny. If I wash him off, do I get Skulker cells? Interesting idea. All right, let's go with our next team. Our second team today was suggested by Graham Lahnam. I hope I said that right. And Graham wanted to see, over in water, we're going with Kami. And then, over in thunder, no, I didn't want to click that. No. I was trying to click this. I must have clicked what was underneath it. Zap. And finally, over in light, somebody who is currently being upgraded, but not quite yet. And that is, of course, Dorothy. All right, so let's see what we have here. All right, we're going to be doing freezing possession. We're not doing it up the middle because no, absolutely no. Do I want to play with a pure seed? That seems like a terrible idea. See, you make a mistake. I'm looking on the left now. If you make a mistake with a Prince Charmless and you're all dead, you know? Of course, I will get to go first, though. I could use Zap to take him out. All right, this is against my better judgment, but I'm going to do the team on the left. Uh-oh. I think I messed up. Yikes. Yeah, that's okay. I had no idea that they would go so into speed and support speed. I'm sorry about that, but this is over. I can just tell you that right now. This is just over. Yeah, I knew that was over as soon as I saw the speeds. Sorry about that. I had no idea that they would have the... I suppose the 115 Prince Charmless should have given me a sign, but ugh. Oh well. Sorry about that. All right, let's go with our third team and hope we can get back on the winning track. All right, our third team today was suggested by Dark Summoner. And Dark Summoner wanted to see somebody who just laid ruin to us, which was Nova. Only it wasn't really Nova. It was an evil twin. And then we're going... Oh, this is ironic, actually, because we're going with Inigo next. However, the last one is not the same, mostly because I actually haven't gotten him out of an egg yet. And this one is going to be over in Magic, and this is going to be Sean. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Okay, we do have a Hook Kawaii up the middle, but I mean, I'd be activating cooldowns, but he has 0 cooldowns, so that's not going to work on him. Alright, let's look. Let's see. I want a good fight, but I also want to win, which means Marquis de Flamme. No. Absolutely no. We are kind of too strong for the team on the right, though. It really wouldn't be very fair. So let's just search again. I mean, they're 130, 120, and 120, but yeah, there's not much else going on there. I think if Nova got out ahead of them and activated their cooldowns, it wouldn't be much of a fight, right? Up the middle. I mean, there's some good ones over here on the left. It's just they're all 100, so one more shot. Do I want to do that? That's a kind of ugly. I was looking at the Hornet. Hornet is going to... Actually, yeah, the Hornet is 105, which means he's going to dodge group attacks. And there's also 2 Forsaken in there, too. Up the middle... I mean, we could do that one. How bad would things be if I used that? The problem is turning Hornet loose on us is a big problem. Yeah, let's just do this one then and see how it works out. Fortunately, there doesn't seem to be a problem with runes. Alright, let me see. How am I going to handle this? If I have Nova handle the Hornet, right, I could have Sean handle them with stuns, because he can give them guard down and then come back with the stun. So that's what I'm going to do. Unless, of course, he resists this, which would be really bad. Good, that worked out. All right, now we're going to do Essence of Clumsiness. Only one of them got it. That's not good. And then we're going to do Concussion Bomb. Oh, he got the stun anyway. Good. And, of course, he charged. Of course he charged. Because he's on the right side of the screen. He had possession. He charged. Notice how that doesn't happen on the right side of the screen. Yeah. Yes, I'm bitter about it. All right, let me see. Why don't we... Not that one. Let's activate the cooldowns of these 2 individuals over here so they don't mess with us. All right, your first target is right here. Please kill him with malice. Thank you. All right, and moving on. Okay, your turn. Your turn was done quickly. And probably would have been a different fight if they had runes on them, which was unfortunate. Yippee. Alright, and one last fight. Let's do this. Team number 4 was suggested by Riley Legg. And Riley wanted to see, and of course this is going to have, of course, Cleo. Next, we're going over to Metal. for a gigantic miniaturized hamster named Melvin. And finally, reaching over to the books, of course, and you know what that means. There's only one individual I reach for spirit for, and that, of course, is Dave. So obviously we have a very strong team, and if Dave provides us some kind of nice buff, that would be very good. All right, so we have to find something fairly strong. We could do this team on the left. That's pretty strong. Yeah, let's do that and see how it works out. And go. All right, let's see. You're immune. Oh, you guys are all immune to... Oh, torture. For a minute there, I thought that was the control one. That would have been a problem. You're going to dodge the group attack up there. All right. Okay, so let's see. By the way, what did you give us anyway? Maximum stamina increased. You bum. All right, let's see. Who do we want to get rid of? Oh, he's reflecting now, isn't he? Is it a skill mirror? There's a good question right now. See, I have to do something about these other two. Who's going first? All right, I choose you for death. All right, there's nothing much you can do here. Guard down. Should I just waste that one? Immune to control. Just charge. All right, let's see. What do we have here? Now you, over here, I'm going to give you... Do I want to do... Oh, I already did corruption on him. He's immune at the moment. Time stop. There we go. Eek. The countdown has begun. Let's see. You're no longer not immune anymore. Okay, you're working for us. Removal negative status effects. Boom in the head. There we go. No more curse on Cleo. However, she likes handing it out. Okay, he resisted that. Oh, he's immune to torture effects. That's terrible. Oh, Trojan mouse. Unfortunately, it's not really useful at the moment because he's immune to possession. However, stun is something completely different. Dave, would you like to take care of this fool up here? He's starting to bother me. Oh, you're still immune, aren't you? How are you still immune? Okay. Actually, you can't do anything at the moment except charge. Just to make sure, I'm going to redo the Mega Taunt. Okay, now it'll work. All right, and boom on head. Took a little while, but it was a good result. And spin. Yeah, I really could use some maze coins. Just saying that. But I'll take the rune. Okay, and we're done. Okay, so like I said, we have the Unchained Breeding event going on right now with Pixel Lion and Metalhead, and of course the various Jokers scattered in there, including the new one. And then we also have the Magic Stones Island. Magic Stones Island, really good rewards there, so you probably want to work on that if you can. get as many of them as you can. Just if you get 2 boxes and you don't have them, you're not going to be able to make it because that'll give you 70. But you never know. Maybe somebody in your team will actually have some extra ones and can lend you to get you up to 80 so you can build them, right? Just not Kane. Remember that you can't trade Kane's cells because he's exclusive. He's the exception to that. And then, of course, we have the Magic Within Maze with LazarBeam. And, of course, he's ridiculously overpowered if you get him to rank 1. So if you do get him to rank 1, please don't attack my team. I don't want you to fight my team. No, absolutely not. And I think that is about it for now. So thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And play games because games are fun. See ya.